Okay. Think we are live. Wait for some people to come through, and then we will go from there. But yeah, just go ahead, wait for a little bit, and go from there. And whatever things y'all want to talk about, we can talk about that. But other than that, I mean, listen, like, I'm streaming about this game. This isn't really more of a stream for, like, my reaction from the game, because there is no reaction. I expected the Lakers to lose this one, right? So it was really just a matter of just talking about, can LeBron and AD save our season, right? Can they do it? I don't know. It's a tall task, but we'll see, right? We'll see. But that's more in line with what I'm going to be discussing about, more so than the Lakers lost to the Jazz. Oh, let's talk about that, because there was really no hope for us to win the game from the start. So, I knew the Lakers were going to allow 120 plus points. That's what they do every game. Offense has never been the issue for us. We've been scoring 100, 105 plus points a game as well. But we're allowing always 120 plus. And by that, you're not really given much of a chance to win the game. So it's not a winning formula, and more so it's an identity thing, because the personnel, the players, the coaching staff, it just doesn't align. So that's why this is happening. I mean, even if LeBron and AD are injured, they should at least be competing with Russ and the other guys. There have been some games every now and then in which they have, but just not this one. I mean, the Jazz have 122 points. You're not going to win when your opponent score that many points. That's just the fact. We can point at, well, the Lakers have injuries. Well, the Lakers defensively, right? We can look at all those things, but it's just defense. I don't want to hear, is it Russ, or other guys have to step up. Defensively, they need to step up, yes, but offensively, God, that's not the issue. It's never been the issue. It's always been defense. So go ahead, wait for some more people to come through, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah. The Lakers are now 30-45. Who would have thought that? Like, honestly, who would have thought that? A 30-45 team, even with AD out for like majority of the season, 30-45, right? I mean, you still had Russ, you still had LeBron, you still had Malik Monk, you still have these guys off the bench who can produce points. So 30-45, that's just no. I don't know about that one. That one's a little bit of a stretch for me to believe that, they should be 30-45. I'm not excusing that at all. But yeah, this NBA season's crazy in general. Yeah, it really is. I mean, I don't even know what's gonna happen with the Lakers and other teams in general. It's just such a weird season. I'm gonna say it's just such a weird season. I don't even know what to make of this season. This season just seems like a nightmare, a never-ending nightmare. And one thing I don't like about what this Laker team does is, this Laker team, I always see LeBron and AD smiling and laughing on the bench. Like, what are you smiling about? You're 30-45. You guys are pathetic. You guys don't play defense, right? I mean, I love LeBron. He scores 30, 35 points, but he doesn't play any defense. AD, he's been out for majority of the season. What are you laughing about? So really, it's just a poor, this whole entire season, even when they were healthy, they're always like, oh, we just didn't match their energy. Like, if we did, we would have won, or, things of that sort. So really, it's just a mentality thing. And they just thought they were better than everyone else. And it always pissed me off. I never liked it when they just, They just never recognize their own problem. They're always trying to downplay it and talk about, oh, well, we've already won a championship. LeBron and AD, they're like, oh, we know we could do more. Then do more. Then do more. I just hate seeing this team laughing on the bench, especially the two best players on the team with LeBron and AD. LeBron, you don't play defense. What are you laughing about? You're 30 and 45. What are you laughing about? If there's no play-in tournament, what are you laughing about? AD, what are you laughing about? So it just pisses me off when I see them laughing as if, oh, yeah, like, who cares about this season? Or we know what we're doing. Clearly you don't. So, this Laker team has a huge issue, and it begins with, two of the guys. By the way, LeBron and AD. They don't get enough criticism for this, but LeBron and AD are the ones who wanted Russ. And I'm not going to sit here and fault Russ or anything of that sort, but they went away from their defense. They traded away KCP, a valuable 3-and-D player who won a championship with us, Kuzma, who everyone was bashing back then, but at least he was a more serviceable defender than Russell Westbrook. And we could have kept Caruso, right, because we would have had the money. We could have gotten Buddy Hield or whatever the case was, DeMar DeRozan. But what did LeBron and AD want? No, we want our buddy, Russell Westbrook. They don't want defense. Forget that. They just want Russell Westbrook. So they're the ones who constructed this team. And, that's the thing that's pissing me off. They're not taking any accountability. And now Frank Vogel's going to get fired for this. Frank Vogel is going to get fired because of this. This is not his fault. Now, there may have been some games where it's like, okay, Frank Vogel, I don't really like your lineups right now. What are you doing? But for the most part, that doesn't warrant for him being fired. Frank Vogel does not deserve to get fired. I don't care what anyone says. He won a championship with us. He led top 5 defenses in both years, these previous years, with us. So just because he doesn't have a defensive team, it doesn't mean that you should expect him to be number 1 in defense again. You really expect a team with Carmelo Anthony to be number 1 on defense? It's just simply not going to happen. So this team has a huge ego, and it started by LeBron and AD. People are going to get fired like Frank Vogel who don't deserve it. And then we got LeBron and AD laughing on the bench. This is Laker reality. These two guys, LeBron and AD, they're the reason why this is happening. And they're laughing on the bench for it. So we got one guy who doesn't play any defense in LeBron, and we got one guy who hasn't played in basically the entire season in AD. They're laughing. While guys like Stanley Johnson and Wayne Gabriel, they're trying to do everything they can, and the Lakers are laughing. LeBron and AD are laughing. That idea should piss you off if you're a Laker fan or an NBA fan in general, because just as a competitor, you shouldn't be laughing. Why are you laughing? Like, why are you doing this if you're down 30? What is there to talk about? What is there to laugh about? I didn't expect us to win this game. And I can appreciate our guys trying on offense. Defensively, it just seems like we don't have the talent defensively, which is fine. I can't blame everyone, but man, it's just not fair to the rest of the Lakers who are actually trying, that LeBron and AD are just laughing. So let me know what you guys think about that. Honestly, it's not about the loss to me. It's more so about the little things that are happening on the side that piss me off. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I don't know how long I'm going to stream today. Might just do it for a little bit. Call it then, because, there's no LeBron and AD, right? It's kind of hard to stream if your two best players aren't playing and you're losing to a playoff team on the road. Like, it was expected, right? So there's not much to stream. So next game is against the Nuggets, I believe, on Friday, tomorrow. And LeBron and AD are setting their return for Friday. Are they going to save this season? Keep in mind, we're tied for the Spurs for the play-in tournament, the last spot, but the Spurs own the tiebreaker. And based off scheduling, the Lakers have a less favorable schedule than the Spurs. They have the second or third hardest schedule remaining, and the Spurs have the 15th hardest schedule remaining. So just looking at it on paper, on schedule, the Spurs are more favored to make the play-in tournament. But are LeBron and AD's return going to be enough to save this Lakers season? Do you guys believe that LeBron and AD, when they come back, the Lakers can string some wins together and at least make the play-in tournament? Is that feasible based on what we've seen from the Lakers, based on who their opponents are going to be, right? Because they really don't have a free win here. Their worst team they're playing is OKC, and we've seen OKC, they're capable of beating the Lakers. So really, there's no free win here that I could see for the Lakers. And in all honesty, they don't deserve to look on a schedule and say, yeah, this is an easy win. Because honestly, I feel like the Orlando Magic can beat this team. I feel like the Pistons can beat this team. You know, I bet you Cade Cunningham would go for a 20-point triple-double against the Lakers and they would win. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. So, yeah. Let's see some comments here. That's all good, Gigi. That's why LeBron would never be the GOAT. Jordan would be pissed off. Not laughing. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit here and compare Jordan and LeBron because I feel like that can go every day conversation. I can't see every day I'm on social media or whatever the case is. You can't go a single day without seeing LeBron versus Jordan. I'm tired of it. But yeah, I mean, it's true though. Like these other guys, just competitors in general. Like you could say the same thing about Giannis, right? Like Giannis wouldn't be laughing if they're losing by 30 and they're 30 and 45. It's just not going to happen. So I don't know. That to me is what pisses me off more. Yes, we're shorthanded. Yes, we are losing and we don't have the right personnel. Okay, yes, we're 30 and 45 and we're injured, but by no means should you be laughing. This entire season you acted like you guys were going to be the champs. This entire season you guys said, oh yeah, they just played with more energy than we did. We know we could match that and beat these guys. Then they never did it. Right? They can never play a full 48 minutes. They acted like they'd already won something. There's no hunger from this team, specifically LeBron and AD. Just because they won one championship together, does it mean that they have to take it easy now? Like we have other guys on here from the G League or from other teams who hopped around 5 times. Like Wayne and Gabriel has been on 4 or 5 different teams. And now we picked him up. Now he's playing a good amount of minutes. Those guys are playing with more heart and energy than LeBron and AD. And to be honest, I'd rather see, Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram right now, even though they wouldn't win anything. At least they played with effort. That was more exciting basketball to watch because this team is just a team full of egos and they can never get their heads out of their butts because they keep thinking that there's something when they're not. What's up, Albert? Welcome to the stream. Gigi said they could, but the way they're laughing on the bench, they're over the season. I would like to think that LeBron and AD, and I'm always going to stick by this. If LeBron and AD are fully healthy, it's going to be hard beating the Laker team. That's what I genuinely believe. We've seen it before, LeBron and AD, how good they can be. AD has to be 100%. I don't want AD to come back and he's like 70%. That's not going to cut it. We need AD and LeBron at 100%. And just knowing what's happened this past week or two, I don't think either of them are 100%. LeBron's ankle injury, he's not 100%. AD, I don't think he's 100% either. I think he's going to be like 80% in all honesty. But it's a pride thing. They're not just going to sit there and laugh their way into the offseason. They want to try these past 5 games and that's what they're going to do. But I don't know if it's going to do anything. I really don't. So let me know in the comments, are they going to are they going to do anything? So, yeah, I really don't know. It's coming down to the wire. You guys need to win some games. Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, we're tied with the Spurs. They do own the tiebreaker, so they're 10th and we're 11th. So we don't make the play-in, honestly. And this is what I was thinking about. Like, LeBron, as great as he is leading the scoring title, right? He's leading the scoring title. But it's a way to divert the attention away from the fact that this team was favored to win a championship along with the Brooklyn Nets. And we're sitting here, and they might not even make the play-in. That is a catastrophic failure. I heard a debate. Does this take a hit on LeBron's legacy? I think LeBron's legacy is set in terms of the fact that he's top 5 all time. But this does take a bit of a hit just because of the fact that, he's the one who constructed this team. He's the one that was tweeting out, keep that same energy, oh, they're old, they're this, right? So he had full confidence in his team. And now that's not going his way. People now want to shift over to, oh, he's averaging 30 points a game. Look at him at age 37. So it's more so of a way to divert attention from the fact that they're 30 and 45. By no means should this team be 30 and 45. I don't care what injuries they don't. I don't care about those injuries. Okay? Like, those injuries sucked, and it definitely did take a toll on us, but we shouldn't be 30 and 45. We really shouldn't be. LeBron played majority of the season. Westbrook's been playing majority of the season. Those two alone should have been a better than a 30 and 45 record. That's just my opinion. Laker fans or LeBron fans, they don't want to hear it, but it's them being realistic. Two Savage asks, did the Lakers play today? Yes, they did. Or should I say no, because they lost. Yeah, they played against the Jazz. They lost to the Jazz in Utah, 122 to 109. My prediction was that the Jazz were going to score 125 points and that we're going to score around 100. And that's exactly what happened, basically. There's no effort on the defensive end. We just don't have the personnel for it. And it is what it is, right? I didn't expect us to win this game. But the reason why this is titled, Will LeBron and AD Save the Season, is because that's what everyone's focused about. No one's focused about this game. No one cares about this game because, honestly, like, who expected the Lakers to win this game? The Jazz are actually fighting for playoff seeding. They don't want to play in no play-in tournament, So there's that. Ah, man. Honestly, like, one part of me is like, this Lakers season is 100% over, but another part of me is like, are they really just toying with our feelings? Will LeBron and AD come back and have the St. Peter's kind of run where no one expects them to do anything and, they might do something? I don't know. I really don't know. Chances are, if you're going to put a bet in Vegas, this team's not going to do anything, right? So let me know how confident you guys are in the ability of the Lakers to make a run at it, in the postseason, if they even make it. But we'll see. We'll see. But other than that, there's nothing much else to talk about. More so, like I said, I'm streaming solely because of the fact that people are more focused on about the Lakers' ability to win, possibly with LeBron and AD coming back on Friday. Not about the Jazz game. I don't care. Okay, let's face it. The Jazz are not going to win anything in the playoffs either. They're a joke of a franchise, and they're never going to win anything. Donovan Mitchell will leave eventually, and Rudy Gobert is an overrated player because of his salary. So the Jazz really put themselves in a tough situation moving forward. They're not going to win any championships, and that's what you're supposed to do when you pay a player the price they're paying for a player like Rudy Gobert. You're expecting to win a championship. Albert says, confidence in the playoffs for me, or for the Lakers, is a 3 out of 10. That's a pretty good rating. I would say that's somewhere along the lines of where I'm at, right? For the most part, I do believe that they're not really going to do much in the play-in or the playoffs. So, but there is that little side of me where it's like, give me a healthy LeBron and AD. If they are somehow 100% and they come back, we'll see what it is. Gigi said, I'm surprised the Bulls beat the Clippers. Yeah, I mean, the Clippers, they just got back Paul George. I know they beat the Jazz after coming back down 25 the other night. But, the Bulls are a solid team. I never thought they were a title contending team. I always thought they were a playoff team, though. So they're capable of beating teams like the Clippers. So, honestly, as I'm not a Bulls fan, I'm saying if I was a Bulls fan, I would say the season is a success just because of the fact that you guys are going to make the postseason most likely. And given what you guys have done in the past so many seasons, that's a massive success. But looking forward, I don't know what the Bulls are going to do with their core pieces or who they're going to build around. So, yeah, I didn't watch that game, but, Probably was a good one. Uh, yeah, that poster was crazy. But like I mentioned before, guys, I'm probably not going to be streaming for long. Somewhere I'll probably do like 10 more minutes or so and then go from there. Really, it's more so about what's going to happen tomorrow, right? I'm curious to see what LeBron and AD will do together. So, yeah. And I noticed like GG, Albert, Too Savage, y'all are still, pretty consistently here. Missing out on like Viking and a couple of other people like Drew. They should come through sometime, especially when the playoffs get going and things of that sort, right? It would be fun just to, talk and whatnot during the postseason, whether the Lakers are in it or not. Just because we'll see what happens with the seeding, because just looking at seedings 1 through 8 for both conferences, I really can't predict right now who's going to win what. Obviously, if you're a betting man, Phoenix is the favorite in the West, and you have to go Milwaukee in the East. You have to go Milwaukee in the East because Brooklyn has their own problems. Miami, they are a little bit susceptible, but we'll see. Gigi says Drew hasn't been talking since the Warriors have been losing. You're right about that. What do they have won? Like they've lost their like last 4 or something, 5. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and compare them to the Lakers because they're much better off than us. But I keep on hearing from like fans of the Warriors and say we're only losing because we don't have Steph. So it's like when we don't have LeBron, that's not an excuse. Like I don't know. It is what it is. But let's see what these Laker players are tweeting out. Probably something stupid, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. I mean, there's not much to make of it. I mean, Russell Westbrook played a good game. Dwight played a good game. Malik Monk had an okay game. It's just can't get much from them. Yeah, but Draymond's valuable to that team. Really, like without Draymond, their defense goes from like here to here. So there is that. Yeah, I mean. Also, another thing, Trevor Ariza just needs to retire, dude. That dude is so bad. It's not even funny. He's so slow on defense. I can run faster. You can run faster. So, yeah. Just, I know I asked for your guys' predictions a couple months ago what the finals were going to be, but let me hear what your predictions are going to be on the finals. Who's going to win it all? I want to hear your predictions. Who is going to win it all? Because clearly the Lakers are not even in the discussion anymore. So once I get your guys' predictions, we'll talk about that, and then we'll probably just wrap it up just because there's nothing much to talk about today. Lakers stink, like always, without LeBron and AD. So at least if LeBron and AD were playing, I would have more to talk about. But I don't care about THT. I don't care about Wayne and Gabriel. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I care, but like I don't at the same time. Albert asked, what's wrong with Trevor? Because I don't watch that many Laker games. Yeah, Trevor Ariza's just washed. He's really bad. Like, look it up. His defense is non-existent anymore, right? One of the reasons why we got Trevor was that he could be a 3-and-D guy. He has a long wingspan, could guard the 3 and the 4. He can't do that anymore. He's so slow, he can't even make it past, half court. That's how slow Trevor Ariza is. His shooting, let's not even talk about his shooting. That's just as bad. Trevor Ariza just looks like a terrible basketball player right now, and there's just no other way around it. That's just the facts. I mean, I might be one of the only ones saying it, but I call it how it is. Trevor Ariza is just a bad player right now, and there's no other way to put it. So yeah, let me know your guys' finals predictions. I'm curious to see. Is it going to be a Suns-Bucks rematch? Is another team going to come in the way of that? What's going to happen? I want to know your predictions. Albert says, I got a Suns 76ers finals. It's a very interesting pick for the East, at least, Albert. I might agree with you on the West. I highly disagree with you about the 76ers. Just personally, I don't see the 76ers doing anything in the postseason. We know James Harden's postseason, resume. That flopping he does. He doesn't get as many free throws. His game deteriorates in the playoffs for a reason. And the 76ers, I think Brooklyn's a better team than them. I think Miami's better than them. I think Milwaukee especially is better than them. And I'll go another one for you. I think Boston's better than them. So, yeah, Philly, they lost some depth by trading away Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. Their defense got significantly worse. They're an extremely small team who can't really rebound the ball. So when the game slows down, you need some size. You need rebounding capabilities. And the 76ers are just inconsistent when it comes to that. It's not reliable. So when I'm looking at that team from top to bottom, especially given their playoff history and their injury history, I can't pick the 76ers to go to the finals. That's just my personal opinion. I know people just want to look at, Harden and Embiid, dynamic duo, put them in the finals. I'm not about to do that. Gigi says Grizzlies versus Bucks. Yeah, I mean, right now, I think the Bucks are probably the team to beat in the East. They have always been the team to beat in the East just because they won the finals last year. You got to put that respect on their name. Giannis is playing even better. And he's not being talked about as much, but he's playing extremely good basketball, right? Obviously, step back three to send into overtime, clutch free throws to win the game. I mean, you're seeing him improve certain assets of the game. He's improving his game. And that's what great players do. No matter how great they are, they're always going to improve their game no matter what. So I like your pick out of the East. The Grizzlies, though, that's a bit of a toss-up because I do believe the Grizzlies are capable of beating, a Golden State or a Phoenix. But I don't know. Like, the Grizzlies have some experience problems. They're a really young team, right? And I know they're in the postseason last year. So it's an interesting, I agree with the Bucks. I'm not sure how much I agree with the Grizzlies, but I could definitely see that one. But we'll see. When the playoff bracket comes out and things of that sort, we'll talk about that. We'll go from there because obviously it does depend on matchups, right? It does depend on the seedings, right? It does depend on, let's see if this team plays this team in the second round. How is that going to fare? Because it all, who knows? Who knows? Like if the Grizzlies don't have to play the Suns or the Warriors in the second round, right? Then they can easily make the conference finals. And then from there, they just have to play one of those teams, assuming that, they make it. So it's all about seeding, all about the bracket. So we just got to wait and see. But right now, it's interesting to see Suns 76ers from Albert, GG with Grizzlies and Bucks. So, yeah, I mean, that's cool. I think the Bucks will be back in the finals. That's my pick in the East right now. And then in the Western Conference, God, I don't even know who I want out of the West. I'm going to go with Golden State, actually. I'm not going to go with Phoenix. I don't care how good they've been this regular season. I think Golden State, if they're healthy, if they're not healthy, it's Suns in 5 at most. But I got Golden State. They're not winning the finals, so I got the Bucks. We'll see. But other than that, the stream's coming to an end. So if you guys want to comment anything right before the stream ends, go ahead and do that. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. I think the Lakers play tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, they're playing. Oh, no, they're playing the Pelicans tomorrow. My bad. They're not playing the Nuggets tomorrow. Yeah, this guy. If the Lakers don't win this game, I don't even know. I'm literally just going to come out here and just burn a jersey. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to burn a jersey, but yeah. Albert says, let Russ cook is now gone. You remember I was a Seahawk fan? You remember that, Albert? I know. I'm reminded about it every single day, Albert. So, it is what it is. He didn't want to be here. We didn't want to keep him. I guess it's mutual. Let it go. Rebuild for the future. I'm excited. I'm going to miss him, but it's going to take some time. I'm just so not used to seeing him in another uniform. Yeah. All right, Gigi, if you want to start the counter, go ahead and do that. But other than that, I will see you guys for the next stream tomorrow after the Lakers play the Pelicans. It's going to be a good game. Hopefully, LeBron and AD will be playing, so it has to be a good game. My prediction is that someone's going to get injured. Someone will get injured. I don't know who it's going to be. Knock on wood. But I feel like someone's going to get injured in that game. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to say if this team was healthy, they could have, but they're not. So that's what I'm going to say. But other than that, have a good night, guys. Got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Will LeBron and AD beat the Pelicans? Will they get back on track? Or will it just be a continuation of what we're seeing now? Other than that, I will see you guys later. Peace out and have a good night. Good night, guys. Playing for GG's 0, of course. All right. Peace out, guys.